Today, I'm going to share my first 100 hours in Final Fantasy XIV, with the goal of playing through the entire story to find out why this game is so loved. Not only that, I also try to interact with the community, to experience the unique social space MMOs are known for, with emphasis on try. I've attempted to strike a balance between my reactions and documenting the story, while omitting certain aspects to prevent the video from being longer than an Asian's monologue. That means this video will contain major spoilers for A Realm Reborn. Now, I'd tell you to sit back and relax, but you're about to witness around 2 hours of slow burn chaos captured in video form. So, buckle up, maybe turn down your volume a notch, and let's journey into the world of Final Fantasy XIV. The initial cutscene and centerpiece of Final Fantasy XIV's story is the capital C Calamity. This consisted of an enormous dragon called Bahamut being summoned upon a battlefield where a war between Eorzeans, the good guys, and Garleans, the Fire Nation, was taking place. Bahamut elected to do the diplomatic thing and nuke both sides, but a guy named Louis Wa pulled some mysterious wizardry and got rid of Bahamut to save a bunch of people, and possibly also the Warriors of Light, who were some kind of war heroes who everyone forgot the faces of. Basically, it's a big old lore dump and a lot to take in. What are you supposed to do against that? Has it come to praying? That can't be a good sign. Swords of revealing light. Your blue eyes can't move for 3 turns. It failed. Oh god. Oh no. Shibaku Tensei! Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I got goosebumps. I don't know why. Oh man, I want my own chicken. Chocobo, I think they're called. Whoever got rid of horses and decided that we would ride on chickens. That's a genius right there. I hope they got a raise. Following that, the first order of business is to create the character you're going to play as, and the starting class you want them to have. I chose a 2-handed axe-wielding class called Marauder, that eventually turns into Warrior. So, this is my character. An extremely tall elf. My headcanon is that she spent so long trying to set OBS that her hair turned white. Not that I could relate or anything. Or, you know, she was blasted with arcane energy as a child and this is how she ended up. Either one works. Does this matter? This selection has no effect on gameplay. Alright then. Okay, you don't have to moan in my ear, lady. Are you posing? Or so? This is not a fashion show, I'm trying to figure out your birthday. Watcher of the Seas and Goddess of Navigation. I have a feeling I will need this, because I tend to get very lost, both in games and in real life. And so begins the adventures of June Chu, because I was not creative enough to come up with a better name. Alright. The game itself starts with a cutscene, wherein a giant crystal speaks to me in a woman's voice, telling me to hear, feel, please buy a subscription. I awake from my vision, and the actual journey begins with me on a ship ride to Limsa Lominsa, a naval city-state that used to have a strong tie to piracy before it cleaned up its act and took to politics. Ironically, the ship is promptly attacked by pirates. The other thing of note are 2 white-haired elven people, aka Elizants, who are the only people on board whose appearances scream, "We are main characters in a Final Fantasy game." Look at them. Their hair kinda look like chickens.
Look at all those chickens!
Oh, I get to choose? What about making a friend? What about having a good time? Why aren't any of those an option, huh? Oh, okay. Pirates, bloody hells. This guy does not have a single button on his shirt, that's for sure. Once we make it to land, I'm sent in the direction of a bar and its proprietor Baderon, who helps me get started with adventure work. I also get introduced to basic concepts like guilds for leveling up your chosen class, and aetherites, which are teleportation crystals you need to attune to be able to use. Because God knows, any MMO hero would never have been able to save the world in time if they had to walk everywhere. Anyway, most important of all the concepts is questing, which I will be doing a lot of to complete the story. My first real quest will be to lend a hand at a nearby farm. The farm owner explains that all of his workers used to be pirates that were forced into a job change due to the calamity, and they hate being land crabs so much that they elect to slack off. But instead of being grateful that an adventurer turned up to help, he calls my gear trash and forces me to get better stuff. Which I feel like kind of implies that he thinks his farmhands might attack me at some point, but the owner assures me that he just wants them to take me seriously. I actually do get sent on a mission that warrants wearing more than rags, as the owner wants me to survey for rumored kidnappers who's been spotted close to the farm. I don't find any shifty folks, but I do find Ishtola, a mysterious cat lady who's researching ether in a cabin. Ether is the lifeblood of Eorzea, and it's kind of like magical air mixed with the Force, in that too little or too much of it will kill you, and that it can do anything that the plot calls for. Anyway, a pirate has put a knife in the back of a giant mouse monster, and it decides to take out its rage on us. Right after we defeat it, I'm accosted by another vision of the giant crystal speaking vague sentiments to me, a phenomenon Ishtola seemed to recognize. But before I can get the catnip to coax it out of her, she leaves, and I go back to dealing with the slackers. This game has a penchant for sprinkling in just enough main character plot stuff to keep you hooked, but always has you stay humble by forcing you to run errands like you're everyone's bitch. It does help with the world building, so it's not terrible, just kind of funny. Anyway, I return to the farm, and the owner wants me to round up his good-for-nothing farmhands. All of them get back to work except for one, who seemed to have ignored me. I catch the guy stealing a sack of oranges to sell to goblins, but the deal goes awry, and I'm forced to save the other farmhands he roped into it. I go deliver the oranges to the rightful recipient, and report to the owner who's just about had it with the delinquent. Eventually, I find out the scoundrel in question has been consorting with pirates. Again, I catch him red-handed, trying to sell off his comrades to a pirate crew he used to run with, as compensation for deserting them. I save everyone, but a masked man known as an Asian turns up and summons a giant clay golem in my face to try to take me out. Ishtola comes to the rescue, and once again leaves before I'm able to get any answers to what's going on. When I return, the farmhand finally apologizes to the owner and turns himself in to the authorities to pay for his crimes. And all is well at the farm, which means I may finally leave. I head back to Limsa and get tasked with more errand work outside the city. And I also begin my training with the Marauders Guild to work toward eventually becoming the warrior class. While out on a training mission, I find a boy being attacked by giant enemy crabs. I save him, and he tells me that he's out on a quest to find a beast by the name Kajuta, who murdered his parents. He's not up to the task in the slightest, but I pledge to slay the beast as part of my training to become a full-fledged marauder. To continue ranking up within the Marauders Guild, I rid the world of some more crabs and got attacked by birds. Excuse me. No. I'm not a part of this. I'm just trying to walk here. God, these birds are giving me more attention than the citizens of this game. Or the players, I guess. Stop it. No. I feel like this would be a lot cooler in nighttime. Now! Why are all look at him being so so big coming over here. Come then! Yeah, that's right. Go back to eating Cheetos, you ugly, ugly bird. Onto the main scenario quests, I didn't fare much better. Helping at a local lighthouse only to get sent to the docks for more grunt work. Before heading there, I reported back to the Marauders Guild and got tasked with eliminating a threatening beast to continue my training for my fight with Kajuta. Suddenly, working at the docks didn't seem so bad, and I arrived on the Morbi dry docks only to be rudely informed that I won't be taken seriously until I help out with building a giant Limsan warship. I get tasked with looking for a cargo ship that never arrived, And as I do so, I have my first ever conversation with a player. Catch anything good? Someone replied to me! Oh. Hooded man. Or woman. Looks so menacing. Oh, can I sit down? / sit? Is that how you do it? Yeah. Oh, this is cute. I put on the Star Wars robe so it feels like I'm having like a conversation with an old veteran, which it seems like I have. Or I am. Turns out the cargo ship was destroyed by giant waves summoned by a local tribe of beastmen called the Sahagin. And not much more comes of it. Back at the docks, things are dire, however. The captain had received word of pirates planning an assault on the warship. I locate the pirates, but before I confront them, I can't resist attacking some Firefly enemies. I am currently swinging an axe at a Firefly. This is the best game ever. Anyway, I confront the pirates, and they not so subtly allude to the fact that even larger schemes might be in motion. I have little time to contemplate this, as by the time I return, the docks are already under attack. Oh god. This can't be good. What the fuck? Hello? Hello? Have you hired some lizards? Alright. Gonna stay out of those zones, I think. As I take down the invaders and their leader, we find a missive on their person that the head of the warship build wants me to decipher. I return to Balderon, and together we figure out that the missive details launching a large-scale attack on La Noscea, and so I head out to defend against it. While on the scene, a group of pirate criminals called the Serpent Reavers attack the outpost I'm stationed at. What the fuck? I didn't even see that thing. What did I do to my HUD? This is so messy. Alright. I could have gone better. I fend them off, only for an Ascian to turn up and summon a giant monster in my face. In case you don't know what an Ascian is, I barely do either. They look like a generic evil cult worshipping a dark god. Okay. This can't be good. Am I alone here? Ishtola, come help me. That's alright. It's just a lesser gargoyle. Oh! She came! She did come. Well, I just killed it, so... Oh. Alright, you're screwed. I have the power of cat girls on my side. Why? Focus on me, you bitch. After the fight, I return to Limsa, still very much unable to make other players pay me any mind whatsoever. Alright, my social anxiety is telling me not to do this, but how about we say hi?
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
I think these people are AFK. I'm gonna choose to believe that's why they aren't saying hi to me. Alright. Let's move on here. Because of my role in discovering the planned assault and helping fend off the formidable Serpent Reavers, the leader of Limsa Lominsa, Admiral Merlwyb Blosvin, invites me to a fancy pants party. To be able to attend, I'm tasked with finding some proper attire. If I remove my gloves... Look! There it is! My hotbar is in the way. I don't know how to turn it off, but... You can see it right there. It totally goes with my outfit. I have to say, this outside underwear armor thing I got going on is not it, alright? I cannot wait until I get another armor set. Hey, what are you looking at, huh? You think this is a free show? I'll cut you, alright? I'll strike you down. I don't care if I just got a freaking honorable ring in the invitation, alright? I'll kill your family. Sensing that the implications of this party is about to pluck me away from the menial errand running of my current adventure life, I decide to do another Marauder quest in hopes of, quote-unquote, finishing things up. You can't say that I'm not optimistic. My extremely boring Marauder quest of cleaving boulders suddenly gets an interesting twist when it turns out that Crab Boy has gotten himself into lethal danger once again. As I locate him, I'm dragged into a fight with a pack of jackals that I am barely able to deal with. Time to leap into action. Oh yeah, baby. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh god. Oh god, oh god. In the end, I save the boy, show off my determination, and for my efforts, I'm kicked out of doing any more Marauder quests because my level is too low. So I guess we're going to the party. Apparently I look flash and formal now. They look like sailing shoes, like pirate shoes, I guess. Which makes sense. Oh my god. This is a sprout, but they look like a true pirate. Damn, they look cool. Look at that sword. How about I say you look cool? Am I gonna get a response? Probably not. At the party, I show off my crystal, and Eshtola exclaims that I bathe in her light, and that I'm a vessel for Hydaelyn herself. While I'm there, mingling with the people I can still barely parse, I am hit with another vision of the Mother Crystal, this time of the Alliance leaders speaking at the Battle of Cartano, and I'm then accosted by some less than stellar voice acting.
Mad Snake! Mad Snake! Answer me!
This voice acting is so... In the vision, I also not so subtly learned that the Asians definitely had something to do with the calamity. Regardless, the Admiral decides that I, the mental case who can't even stay awake during the most important networking event of her life, is the perfect candidate to send overseas as her personal envoy. I am very excited about this, as I've grown sick and tired of pirate speak and the plate of wet spaghetti that is navigating Limsa. As my Limsan friends bid me farewell at the airship landing, I set my sights on Gridania. Alright, fine, I like you guys, even though I can't understand what you're saying half the time. I admit it, alright? It's cool. You're cool. I'll come back. Ooh. Okay, I did not expect some plot. Totally not the evil guys or anything. With the extremely badass armor. Damn! So the dragons protected Eorzea? Is that what we're trying to say here? Like, what has Eorzea done to you guys? Frumentarium? All these words and proper nouns! Okay, he just sliced him down. With a blade that's also a gun.
Clean up this. At once, my lord.
I recognize this voice actor. This voice actor was in that one Telltale game about Game of Thrones that no one played. I'm sure the voice actor is famous though. I set my sights on Gridania, a beautiful forest nation residing under protection of the 12 wood elementals. I'm barely able to see in the vistas before I once again find myself completely lost and socially outcast by its non-responding locals. We're here! Oh man, it looks beautiful. Look at this place. It's very cool. Oh. So empty. I guess it is 7 AM. Let's just say hello to our first Gridanian and a fellow Elysian. And I have a feeling he's not gonna respond to me. Oh man. So I immediately got lost in Gridania, so that is a good sign. I look like such an idiot next to these people who are somewhat color coordinated. Did he just... How did he get down there? It seems like people are so averse to speaking with me that they sink through the floor. So that's it's nice. Anyway, I delivered the missives to the leaders of Gridania and Ul'dah, the sandy city of merchants and other profit lovers. Both leaders, Elder Seedseer Khan Iseda of Gridania and General Raban Alwyn of Ul'dah, agreed to holding a remembrance ceremony in memory of those who sacrificed their lives at the hands of the Calamity and the Battle of Cartano. Okay, so these are the minions you have. Minions have behavior? Well, this one is obedient, so that's nice, but I wonder what happens when they're not obedient. Will they like run away from you or something? Look at that! It's so cute! It's so cute. See, even my own minion doesn't care that I wave to it. I gotta earn some respect, I guess. I return to Limsa to continue with my relentless marauder training. This time, I'm sent to a random location to face what is totally not the guildmaster in disguise. Even though I'm underleveled, the guildmaster is satisfied with my display and tells me that I'm ready to face Kajuta. Oh my gosh. Look at me. This is the ugliest. I just took it because it gave me a lot of armor. The axe is decently cool though, but oh my goodness. Balduran tells me that there's been pirate sightings in the Satasha Seagrot, a place previously believed to be crawling with monsters and Sahagin. Balduran believes the Serpent Reavers might have made the cave its hideout, and asks me, a so-called reliable adventurer, to investigate. This means that the time has finally come for me to face the first dungeon of my Final Fantasy XIV career. Dungeons are instance events, where a group of players have to get through an area with an incredibly generous time limit. The dungeon is typically crawling with monsters, and has a stronger one, a so-called boss, at the end. A group of adventurers called a party will usually consist of one tank, one healer, and 2 damage per second players called DPS. Bigger parties will have a slightly different composition of roles. You may enter each dungeon with a group of NPCs, but being starved for socialization, I decided to bite the bullet and embarrass myself in front of real people. Before entering, I completed some training directed at beginner tanks, looking to get down the basics, such as making sure you drown in a horde of monsters before your allies do. Now, it was time to enter the Satasha Seagrot as our only tank, meaning I'm responsible for soaking up damage and making sure that my party members don't take any unnecessary hits. Is this when I have to interact with other people and perform? Alright, time to stop being a wuss. Just do it, alright? I'm extremely nervous, so I'm taking it out on a bat. Oh god, it's starting. Okay, alright. Okay. Oh, ooh, here we go. Ooh. These people seem to know what they're doing. I don't know if I'm having all the aggro. I can't even tell with all the effects. What's happening? I'm so panicked right now. I know this is going well. I think. Do they expect me to read this right now? Gotta be joking. I can't even take in the environment. I mean, I'm just so focused on pressing the correct buttons. Is there anything I should consider? Tell me. Tell me! Tell me! Strangers! Give me your wisdom. Fine. Fine. Huh. I guess that was pretty easy. Oh man. All things considered, I think my first dungeon went alright. I did not know it at the time, but it was all about to go downhill from here. With the Serpent Reaver threat quelled for now, I returned to Limsa, only to be sent over to Gridania to provide urgent aid. It appeared that brief excursion as an envoy left a good enough impression on the council to seek my help in eliminating their troubles. Or perhaps they were just that short-staffed. Upon arrival, I am briefed on a group of doomsday cultists having invaded a local gravesite in search of dead bodies they can stuff full of void-sent life. Meaning, just a regular Tuesday in Gridania. You know, on the bright side, at least my outfit, or my armor rather, fits in with the aesthetic of Gridania by being green. Okay. Oh my god, it's Cthulhu, the summoner. Okay, okay, this is a bit many. But I'm keeping aggro, it's fine. Okay, this is a lot of people right now. This is kind of stressing me out. I returned to Redania to bask in the glory of succeeding my mission. The deceased of the Deep Craft now being able to rest in peace. The glory basking does not last for long, however, as I'm predictably sent away to Ul'dah to aid their cause as well. Once in Ul'dah, I'm informed that some miners accidentally found their way into a cavern where giants, long thought to be dead and buried by Ul'dah ancestors, have been stewing in their anger for hundreds of years and now run amok inside the mines. Lovely. And so I slay the giants, a bittersweet victory considering they were basically slaves left to rot underground for centuries by ancestors of the people who told me to kill them. But there is little time to contemplate this, seeing as I'm immediately dragged into more trouble. Oh my gosh, you guys. I got my first friend request! I'm kidding. I'm cool, alright? I'm cool. I don't care. You wanna be my friend? Does it look like I give you... Anyway. Some merchants are accusing a lady of stealing and threatening her. So I heroically step in. This is literally a damsel in distress right now. And unfortunately, a green elf has been the one to come to your aid. Alright, enough. And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's masters? What? And who the hells are you when you're at home? What? This dog's master? At home? I'm not at home. What? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. I can't read. You lot teach them a lesson. You guys don't stand a chance. I have so much confidence now that I made a friend. Like, at least a 1% increase. Okay. Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. You're welcome. Although it seems I'm struggling on the inside of this extremely hot armor. This is nice to just get plot-related visions, because I'm the chosen one. Ishtola appears, and seems to recognize in me what to anyone else would probably just look like aggressive migraines. She tells me that she can help me decipher my strange visions if I join her posse of border-crossing peacekeepers, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Not entirely sold, I head to Vesper Bay and the Science's headquarters called the Waking Sands. The leader of the Science, Minfilia, tells me that the strange visions I've been experiencing are called the Echo. The Echo lets you peer into people's memories and experience their past as though you were there, but you cannot harness it whenever you choose, meaning only when the plot calls for it. It also lets you understand every language in existence, which sure is convenient when you stumble into the position of main character in a fantasy world. Minfilia explains that one of the science's main missions is keeping the primals at bay. Primals are godlike beings summoned by the prayers of their followers, and doing so drains the land of so much of the world's ether that on top of having dangerous elemental powers, they are also bad for the environment. I agree to join their ragtag band of do-gooders, and my first assignment is a primal investigation concerning an ambush on a caravan carrying a large shipment of ether crystals. The primal worshippers need lots of ether to summon their deities, and so they are likely culprit of the ambush. There's also some abduction sprinkled in there, because gods love human sacrifices. Before we can get to the bottom of the investigation, however, I decide it's finally time to wrap things up at the Marauders Guild. The guildmaster deems me ready to make good on the promise to Crowboy and slay the beast who killed his parents. Well, well, well. What do we have here? An ugly, ugly creature. What are you even supposed to be? Some sort of overgrown elephant-bison hybrid? The face. I finish the job and return to the investigation. After running around the church, I finally get a lead on a fake priest who appears linked to the abductions. So I do what anyone else would do and put on some clothes that apparently make me look like a beggar to draw out the con artist. The person in question turns out to be the obnoxious merchant from before, who had been selling out people to the Emulgent beast tribe who worship the primal known as Ifrit. Well, at least I got out of that ugly armor for a couple moments to remember what I look like again. And back in we go. I hurry back to Minfilia to report my findings, and she insists that instead of hurrying to stop the summoning, this is an incredibly opportune time for me to learn how to enchant weapons. Anyway, I go to storm the Emulgent encampment and take on my first ever trial, which is basically an instant boss fight. It turns out that the abductions weren't for human sacrifices in the lethal sense, but to create unwilling and mindless thralls in Ifrit's name. Luckily, due to main character syndrome, it seems I am immune from the enthralling, or the tempering as they call it. Well, it's actually due to the echo, but again, it sure is convenient. Let's freaking go, you guys! What's happening? Was I supposed to do something with that? I think I was supposed to hit those nails. But I was too focused on just pressing buttons. Well, that went well. And quickly. The fight is over in the blink of an eye, and upon leaving, the high-ranking Garlean from the cutscene shows up and appears to be reading the level of ether in the area through a device on his wrist. Meanwhile, I meet another friend outside the dungeon. Someone who is willingly subjecting themselves to A Realm Reborn for like the 100th time because they're leveling an alt and love the game. I take it as an excellent sign of what's to come. People are really nice in this game once they actually talk back to you, is what I'm noticing. I head back to the Waking Sands, where Thancred blames himself for not figuring things out sooner or being able to be there with me when things went down with the Almalja. We assure him that he's not at fault, but he doesn't seem convinced. By the way, I forgot to mention this before, but the main signs are Minfilia, Thancred, Orion J, is that how you say it? Ishtola, Ida, Papalimo. I think that's it. Oh! There's another dude with that white hair. He's coming up. Anyway. Minfilia tells us about how the primals are summoned when their followers gather and cry for their help, and that once a soul has become a thrall, the tempering cannot be undone. This means that the people the Almalja took prisoner must unfortunately be killed. On that cheery note, representatives of the 3 grand companies barge into the room and demand that I lend my strength to one of them. Minfilia suggests that I listen to all of the remembrance speeches before making my decision, and so I make my way to Gridania, Ul'dah, and Limsa to hear the city-state leaders speak to their people. During each of these speeches, I meet with the white-haired twins from the very beginning of my journey. The brother introduces himself as Alphino, and his sister as Alice. They are students of Baldessian, whatever that means, hailing from the land of Charlian, and Alphino seems to just love flaunting his globetrotter knowledge. This guy totally has the hots for banners, that's for sure.
The crimson field is meant to signify
Realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
Oh, is their grandfather Louisois? Or however you pronounce his name. Even if he says positive things, his tone of voice is so smug that I can't help but hate him.
I should hope so.
So, usually I prefer desert areas because I think they're cool. And I like Ul'dah, but I feel like I want to spend more time in Gridania because it's so peaceful and chill. And that's my motivation for choosing the Twin Adder. On top of my flawless reasoning, the location of the teleportation crystal in Gridania is the closest to the Grand Company HQ of all the states, so it's a convenient choice. Speaking of convenient, an airship crash lands in the Gridanian woods, dangerously close to a Gralian fortress, and so I'm sent on my first Grand Company mission to save the passengers. The only passengers aboard turn out to be Wedge and Biggs, 2 engineers of the Garland Ironworks. More on them later. For now, I do some more Grand Company stuff to get my very own chocobo, a yellow fluffy bird you can ride on to travel places faster. Woods will be done. I shall strike down our enemies and drink their blood. My life is for the What? What does this even mean? These two sound crazy, and that sounds like a total simp. I'll be stoic. Silent protagonist. I get to name it. Well, obviously it's Choo Choo. Because we're riding on it. And we're going places. Get it? With my new foul companion, I return to the Waking Sands to receive my next mission. The Scions have investigated a Gridanian beast tribe known as the Sylphs, who reside deep within the woods and worship a primal called Ramu. The Sylphs are usually an oddly pleasant bunch for being beastmen, but have apparently been acting strange as of late. Minfilia asks me to go as a diplomatic envoy to make sure the Sylphs don't summon their primal. On my way there, I'm exposed to some lovely padding quests, before I finally reach a man knowledgeable enough about Sylph customs to ensure that I don't make a complete fool of myself upon our first meeting. The trick seems to be to come bearing gifts and good dance moves, and so I present this to the Elder Sylph's right-hand, Sylph, in hopes of getting to meet with the Elder. The Sylph is impressed, but its sudden hatred for Gridanians dispels the goodness of my gift and the grooviness of my moves. And so, I do what any other SOL diplomat would do and start shaking it for the local townspeople in hopes that they will like me more. I also complete some quests for the Sylphs to build their trusts. It works, and just as I think this is finally going to go well, it turns out that the Elder is apparently nowhere to be found. Before I set out to find them, however, I noticed that I have a class quest available. And so I ditched the main mission and set out for sunny Costa del Sol in La Noja to speak with a mysterious axe-wielder training under a waterfall. He calls himself Curious Gorge and invites me to train in the forgotten ways of the warrior. To test my mettle, he randomly sends me up to Thanalan to deal with the local sandworm. Upon completion, I unlock a new skill as well as the beast gauge, which lets me do more damage when I activate my skills in combo orders. Due to being too underleveled to continue with my warrior class quest, I return to the main story and its incessant desire to send me on endless fetch quests. Eventually, I finally get the lead on the missing Sylph. I investigate and find more Garleans breathing, which we just can't have. When I report to the barkeep who gave me the lead, he realizes that one of his customers suddenly got super rich and apparently figured that it must make him the Gridanian trader selling out vital information to the Garleans. I catch the man in question red-handed, and after losing in a fight, he decides to turn himself in to the authorities. I also learned that the Garleans had chased the Elder Sylph into a local dungeon called the 1,000 Mouths of Todorak, which means it's duty time, baby! Okay, so I apparently wasn't recording, but my party members totally just slayed the boss while I was stuck in a cutscene. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Also, I almost died. Oh my god, I'm dying! Dude! Man. First I had to listen to an Asian monologuing while the other people friggin... Anyway, an Asian appeared to test my strength, and I prevailed, and saved the Elder Sylph from being made a snack. I'm also treated to a vision of the Garlean Lord from before, Nero, looking around for the Elder Sylph, spouting vague sentiments about wanting sylphs to summon their primal, and that his lord's work is almost at completion. Upon escorting the elders safely back to town, they assure me that they are on peaceful terms with Gridania, and don't intend on summoning their primal. However, they ask that the already tempered sylphs wandering around the forest are not to be disturbed, as they will not display aggression unless provoked. I head back to the Waking Sands, where Alphino is talking to Minfilia and ignoring me. Rude. Minfilia is happy with the outcome of my mission, and the Elder apparently sent a sylph called Norexia to act as a sylph diplomat to help out the Scions. Help. Somehow. This action will definitely not have consequences. No, sir. Minfilia is worried about the persistent actions of the Asian Laha Brea, the man who's been stalking me, and asked me to group up with the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah to investigate. My investigation leads me to a worshipper of Ralgar, guardian deity of Alamigo, a former nation now under Garlean rule whose deserters and rebels harbor a camp in Eorzea called Little Alamigo. Unfortunately, I'm not welcome at Little Alamigo, as its residents are hardened refugees who don't take kindly to outsiders. I then had the genius idea to give out tea to the guards to try to get them to talk, but it doesn't really work, and I have to go crawling back to Minfilia to get some useful connections. Finally, I get out of that ugly armor, and now I look like some sort of bandit, ready to commit crime in the name of justice. Oh yeah. Through the science, I gain a connection in the outskirts of Gridania, and end up getting the opportunity to help the Alamigan resistance in need, as the Gridanians cannot afford them help. I make them some medicine, and get a letter of recommendation for my efforts, which seems to convince the standoffish unofficial leader of the Alamigans. He immediately confides in me with information about the youth of the camp having grown frustrated with the rotten life, plotting something with a masked man, meaning, more Asian business. The youth don't care for my nosiness and just straight up attack me, and together with the camp leader we set the youth straight. It turns out they plotted to invade the Amalja and take the crystals to offer to Ralgar and summon him like the Asian wanted. The leader of the uprising is remorseful, and that pretty much concludes this section of the La Habrea investigation. While running around aimlessly in the Black Shroud, I found a strangely placed group of people. They turned out to be hunting a specific mob, and even though I had nothing to do with it, I somehow made a new friend. There's so many people here. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Like, I probably can't participate because I'll die, but... What? Oh my god. Can I attack too? That was fast. I don't think I even hit it. My third friend. Oh my gosh. That was so... that was cool. But because I'm on free trial, I couldn't directly message him, so our interaction was short-lived. I totally didn't go to stand outside their house like a creep or anything. The footage of me being a creep is playing, isn't it? I continue my investigation on La Habrea. It leads me to help some Gridanian locals look into some odd murders targeting only young women. Eventually, I find an ex-butler telling me about his former master wanting to have a pretty face after the calamity deformed her, and that the Asian are manipulating her in doing a macabre rituals to try to restore her beauty. She resides within Hawk Manor, her estate that has fallen to ruin and now the home to horrific creatures, possibly remnants of her wicked experiments. Seems like a lovely place. Reminds me a bit of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. The butler asked me to put a stop to the murders and to kill the woman responsible. And so I do, and the Asians keep gloating. But now we have other things to worry about. As soon as I step out, I'm informed that the kobolds have summoned the primal Titan. Little is known about Titan, and the company of heroes, the guys who slew him, have disbanded the crew. Also, side note, anyone who calls himself the company of heroes don't strike me as particularly heroic people. What follows is a series of infuriating runaround quests where the former members of the group force me to gather food for a banquet. If I manage to brave the challenges in gathering the ingredients, they deem me worthy enough to stand a chance against Titan, and will tell me what they know. Finally someone says it. We don't have time for trivial tasks, alright? We need to get going. The enemy is at the gates. That's right, Ishtola. You're my favorite character right now, Ishtola. I'm so tired of being tasked with the runaround, alright? Wastegate would like to, however you pronounce that, would like to verify that you are not a complete fraud. It is a long line of boring quests, the worst of which starts your unwilling yours truly searching for the finest foods in the land. Eventually, I get sick of it and go continue with my warrior questing, which ironically takes me to Wineport, where the citizens are being invaded by monsters. Unfortunately, Curious Gorge loses himself in his berserking ways and starts scaring people. And while he doesn't mean to, he's solely cementing that the warrior class will never ever be remembered fondly. Getting back to the MSQ, I have to help a goblin with a dungeon if you want to get the cheese I need. Which is a sentence that only FF14 would make you say. Oh, this looks like a fun place. Maybe not. The music here sounds like Pokemon Ranger. I don't know why I'm laughing. They're trying to tell me important stuff, but I'm just like, the music here reminds me of a decade-old Pokemon spin-off game. Yeah. As I go back to Costa del Sol to deliver the super plot-relevant cheese, I stop by Curious Gorge and deliver some armor parts I picked up while waiting for my dungeon party. I definitely did not struggle with this. Ooh. New area. Is Querthus part of Eorzea? And why did I pronounce it like it was a Spanish region? Querthus. Leave me alone. Dude! Leave me alone. You guys are high, whatever level. Am I gonna survive this? I don't think my gear is very good. No! You're too many! I can't get past! They're gonna kill me! Oh shoot. No! Leave me alone!
Nani?
Ah shoot! I'm too under-leveled for this. Which one of these is it that I need to kill? Is it all of them? Okay, fine, I'll take them one at a time. Hey. What is going on? Oh, it's up there! Oh my god! So ugly! My next task is an awful main scenario quest wherein yours truly has to look for a long-lost wine, which takes ages. On this wild goose chase, I end up having to slay midges for a homeless man. And that should tell you all you need to know. What am I doing with my life? I finally get my hands on the wine I need and return to Costa del Sol. Sensing the end of the fetch quest shenanigans, I once again stop by Curious Gorge, since I'll be leaving the area. He tells me that he didn't have the strength to resist the influence of the warrior armor, and now it's my turn to try to see if I'm strong enough to do it. Put on the armor, only missing the chest piece, and I seem fine. I run back to the main area to finally take part in the banquet I've been toiling to put together. Alright, finally, in my progress. Ishtola is concerned for your well-being. I am too. Ooh. Look at these lovely, lovely cat ladies. Oh my my. You had the look of a woman who has been to the seventh hell and back. The developers know. They know what they're doing to the player. Come on now. I can only applaud your stoicism. Had I been asked to endure such ignominy, Ishtola, you use too complicated words for a brainlet such as I. With the formalities out of the way, let the festivities begin. Summon the dancers, pour the wine! Finally! Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends, for today we celebrate the birth of a new legend, Junju, Titan Spain. Junju, Titan Spain! But why are we celebrating before the battle is even won? Is nobody gonna question that? So... Oh, I fell down. The babes were so beautiful that I bumbled off the building. Look at that. Is that just Ishtola in her underwear? Is that the same character model? Look at that. Is that an Easter egg or something? Ishtola, your identical twin sister is over here dancing for me. You're just sitting here. Tasting the exotic feast triggers a divine revelation. In that brief, transcendent moment, you glimpse the true form of reality, comprehend its fleeting nature, and cry out to the heavens in celebration. How dramatic. I would love to eat something that made me enlightened. I see you have placed yourself exactly where you need to be. And don't think I don't see your gaze there, young man. After the party, the company of heroes tells us what we need to know going into the Titan fight. Most importantly, that they used what's called a Beastman Aetheryte to infiltrate the Kobold's lair. Because Ishtola is Sherlayan, she has the ability to amplify the Beastman's Aetheryte enough for it to be used and navigated by me. While queuing up to fight Titan, I pick up the final piece of the warrior armor and present it to Curious Gorge. He suddenly decides that it's too dangerous for me to don the entire armor and takes the chest piece from me. This culminates in me having to fight him again with the help of his brother, as he loses himself in berserking again, and I eventually get the armor. If only I could see my hair. Back to the MSQ, I completed Titan trial without issue, and as I leave the dungeon there's a cutscene showing La Habrea scheming with the Garleans, because of course. What should have been a joyous occasion marking Titan's defeat turns to horror as I return to the waking sands. Excuse me? Hello? This is extremely creepy. Is everyone dead? Oh my gosh. Please tell me everyone's just asleep and not actually dead. Did this game just get really good? No! Hello? Well, my echo power sure is handy for seeing
Thank
stuff.
She is...
Excuse me? What are the Garleans doing here? Just executing people. How did no one notice this happening?
The innocent.
This might be really bad. You can't lay out conditions when you got a gun to your face, you know that, right? Is that a jab on the fact that she's dressed like any other skimpily clad RPG woman? No! No! Excuse me?
No!
Hello? She just karate kicked that flying vegetable into the wall.
Cease at once!
Have you not done enough?
Dude, these people are ruthless. My character is gonna be traumatized for life after seeing this. You shouldn't have jumped out. I'm sorry, but she told you to stay hidden. Someone actually died. That is not good. The Garleans, now having laid waste to the Scions and captured Minfilia, Tataru, Papalymo, and Urian J, means that I'm in desperate need of new allies. But first, I have to clean out the waking sands of the corpses and deliver the dead Sylph back to its homeland. Things are looking bleak, until I hang out with the church people and Alphinaud shows up to reveal that Marquez, the quiet and unsuspecting assistant from before, is actually Master Cid Garland, a genius engineer who deserted the Garlean Empire to serve Eorzea. Unfortunately, he lost his memories due to the calamity, and it'll take him a while to fully recuperate. Still, he is willing to help, and Alphinaud informs us that the Ixali beastmen have apparently summoned their primal Garuda, and she's tormenting the people of Kurthus as we speak. Therefore, we need Cid's airship to fly into her domain and take it down. Afterwards, we will hatch a plan to restore the science of the Seventh Dawn and save our comrades. The Ishgardian people of Kurthus allow outsiders to visit their lands, but aren't in alliance with the rest of Eorzea. This means that they are extra wary to the likes of me, and not particularly eager to help me look for our missing airship. And so, just like with the Sylphs, I have to run tons of errands to build their trust. But unlike with the Sylphs, this is Skyrim Game of Thrones Viking land, so there's less dancing and more house politics. Unfortunately for me, the Ishgardians are very busy being in conflict with the dragon-worshipping heretics called Ravanians. And so, my desire to find the airship is being taken about as seriously as a toddler crying on the grocery store floor because her mom won't buy her candy. Anyway, I head to Camp Dragonhead in the heart of the Highlands to meet with Lord Harshiphon, an oddly reasonable and friendly man. In exchange for helping me find the airship, Harshiphon wants me to go warn another lord named Franzel, who has been accused of dragon-related heresy and is about to be put on trial. I warn Franzel and also manage to find evidence of his innocence. After all that's said and done, I finally get my hands on some information regarding the airship's whereabouts. It turns out that it was last seen crash landing into the Stone Vigil, an abandoned stronghold that's now home to a giant dragon. Super convenient! While all this is going on, two of the people I met before meet up with me to act as my personal flying Uber drivers to get me from one quest marker to the next. This was incredibly fun and kind of them, and made this otherwise tedious portion of the game quite memorable for me. What? Wait, what? What? Oh my god. Woo! These people are literally taxing me around. They're so nice. So I queue up to take on the dungeon, and before we know it, Cid has the airship up and running, and we're out of there. We fly to Gridania to park the airship and hatch a plan on how to get through the rough tempests surrounding Garuda's domain. We come up with the idea to use a corrupted crystal induced with ice-expected ether to breach the wind barrier. I don't know the science, I'm just a delivery girl. After another goose chase that sees me collecting the wrong crystal, not only once, but twice. Are you joking? I finally get back to Cid with what I need. On our way over to Garuda, Cid begins to remember about his past in Garlemworld, and how Gaius used to be a sort of mentor figure for him, as he pursued becoming a great engineer, Gaius being the head of the legion closest to conquering Eorzea. Also, I somehow used Echo to appear in his memories. It's kind of confusing. I do something, he sees me. I don't really get it, but... Anyway, we reach Garuda's domain and throw down. The Ixal beastmen bestow power upon her, but I take her down nonetheless. The music! What are these guys doing? Just when we were about to savor victory, Gaius shows up to crash the party with a brand new toy. He starts trash-talking Garuda to bait her into attacking him. And for whatever reason, there is a bunch of captured Amalja and Kobold beastmen there too that manage to summon Ifrit and Titan. Unfortunately for them, Gaius' new toy turns out to be an ancient, elegant weapon of mass destruction, which easily subdues the primals and then eats them for a snack. This display of power is very disconcerting to Alphino and Sid, who claims that the presence of this weapon, the ultimate weapon, is now officially the single most pressing threat to Eorzea's sovereign existence. After returning from our harrowing journey, we meet up with Ida and Ishtola, who also managed to evade capture. They have figured out that the Scions are being held captive in Castrum Sentry, and we head to the observatorium in Kurthus to gather more information. We get more than we bargained for, receiving news of a Garlean airship crashing nearby. It turns out it was Biggs and Wedge's doing, and we rescue them from being taken again, and are able to witness a heartfelt reunion between them and Sid, the three geniuses of the Garlean Ironworks. Our plans for infiltrating the Castrum leads us to Mordona and the town of Revenant's Toll, a new region that knows a lot about fighting Garleans considering they are chilling right on their doorstep. We find a guy who hates Garleans enough to risk helping us. He suggests that we learn the Imperial Salute to properly blend in with our new compatriots. We also go to take down some Garlean soldiers to steal their armor and their Magitech mech to finish the look. Alright, time to go trick some Imperial scum and save our princess. I mean the boss. Say my boss. Excuse me! Excuse me. I need to go, alright? I don't have time for you. Will they attack me? Yeah, they will. Okay, alright. Okay. Guess I'm not that convincing. Please! Sir, I'm on your side. I'm here to convert. Hello, sir? You don't seem to mind. Are these people— Oh, no! Sir! If I go up to him and target him— No! / Imperial Salute. This doesn't seem to be working. Enough fooling around. It's time to do what we came here to do, alright? Problem is that the mech gets damaged in the process, and the Ironworks duo replaces its core with a sentient one that makes the mech come alive. Cue us having to take down a bunch of Garleans and emote the mech to make it feel quote-unquote part of the team. Are we about to give this hunk of metal a character arc? We have to make you feel welcome? Hey. Welcome to the team, fam. That is extremely silly. Finally, it is time for the infiltration mission to be underway. Let's freaking go, alright? Got that salute down? Oh my gosh! She slapped her! What a cutaway! What a cut! Just hard cut. Slap in the face. Alright. Ew! Excuse me, lady. This is awful! No! Sorry for laughing. I'm just kind of shocked. That's haunting. Shit just got real. Shouldn't I be at my post? I suppose so, but such things don't seem to matter anymore. I've fallen for one of the prisoners. She's all I can think about as of late. Am I a deviant for wanting her to salute me? Who have you fallen for exactly? I have one guess. I've fallen for one of the prisoners, alright? I dare say you know the one I mean. Eh? The svelte blonde? Goodness no. It's the Lalafelling lass I'm submitting with. She's so adorable, it hurts. I wanted to sweep her up into my arms and squeeze her till my arms ache. What do you reckon it would take to convince the Centurion to lend me the key so I can see her? Oh, he likes Tataru. Interesting taste, yeah? On this episode of Garlean in Love. Here we go. I don't know why we had to bring the suit, but... Damn, Minfilia is badass. More so than I thought. His face. Oh, man. Nice salute. Eliminate the intruders. The hell you will. Alright, ladies. Can I speak with them right now? There are more pressing matters at hand. That's funny. Oh, I'm supposed to free them? How? I got interrupted. Excuse me. There we go. I say, did you not see Thancred anywhere? I'm beginning to fear for the fellow. Oh, I haven't seen him in a long time, actually. What? Ishtola, what are you doing? Ho ho! Tag team. Oh yeah, tag team that bitch. That didn't really work out. Oh shoot! How smooth. Oh no, June, hold him off. I'll look after Minfilia and Tataru. Guys, she has a sword. She just elects not to use it. Oh. Oh my gosh. Ishtola is awesome. Iashtola. Is that how you pronounce it? She's cool at any rate. Ooh. And she's very cool too.
What took you so long?
These guys.
Well, it's nice to see you too.
They're like siblings.
It's your Magitech armor. Fool of a Lalafell.
Is that his voice?
Me. She's all yours if you think you can do any better.
Is that his voice? I don't know, they didn't really fit, I think. I don't know, it's just unexpected. 5! Go! Yeah, baby! We out of here! Ugh. The science of the 7th dawn will see an 8th dawn. Sorry. Excuse me?
Thancred.
Hello? Has he been infiltrating us this entire time? Is that what you are suggesting right now? Yeah. That's a bit of a bummer. Huh. Not even a stop for McDonald's or anything? Oh gosh. With the science back in action, we reason with the city-state leaders of Eorzea to devise a large-scale plan to destroy the ultimate weapon. Unfortunately, Ishgard has elected to keep being emo by themselves up in the north and won't be joining. My mission will be to lead the charge tasked with offing a Garlean lieutenant and then storm the main castrum. And so I set out. The lieutenant prattles on about how his homeland was better off for the Garlean Empire taking it. Never before has anyone huffed so much copium in this game since the release of Dawntrail. Alas, he put up a good fight, and I almost don't make it. I could have dodged that, but instead I stood there like an idiot. What? Excuse me. Hey, you're doing a lot of damage there. Maybe I should have put the potions on my hotbar. One moment, just let me regather some health. Dancing around till I have full health. What are you gonna do about it, huh? This doesn't seem fair. Run run, 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 run. Oh yeah, badass. Are you joking right now? What is this? What? No! I can't move! Is there anything I can do? Activate all my abilities! This is extremely epic for a character we spent like 5 minutes with. I'm gonna die soon! I better hurry up! After the lieutenant's forces are done and over with, the time has come for me to storm Castrum Meridianum, where the Ultima weapon is being stored. Raban holds a final rallying speech to our forces, and so the time has come for us to dive into the heart of darkness and fight more people in ridiculously ornate armor. This dungeon features a lot of noise, particle effects, and a security system that won't stop shooting at you. It was sensory overload, and honestly, kind of difficult just to tell what was going on the screen. Junius, the high-ranking Imperial who stormed the Waking Sands and killed the Sylph, shows up to simp for her lord and take me down. Unfortunately for her, I'm the bigger simp, and so I leave the Castrum victorious, with its Magitech shields deactivated. Your prince is in a... I can't even roast her. Your prince is in another castle, bitch. This is it, June. The final confrontation awaits. Oh, man. Can't believe it. I tabbed out to eat a snack. And I was killed. Probably by that guy over there. Probably by this guy over here. The final dungeon of the 7th Astral Era is called the Praetorium. It is its own fortress located deep within Castrum Meridianum and acts as Gaius' command center. The Praetorium dungeon sees you and your party pilot mech suits with their own abilities, which felt pretty unique compared to all the dungeons I've encountered so far. Eventually, we run into Nero, the guy from before Measuring Ether, and an all-around jealous man. He curses Sid for Gaius being so obsessed with him and his accomplishments and never recognizing his. Unfortunately for Nero, I'm in no mood for last-minute character development and swiftly take him out. Onwards, we run into Gaius, who has decided that he don't need no weapon of mass destruction to take us out. He is a formidable foe with a seemingly never-ending supply of tricks up his sleeve, and was the first boss who really made me feel like I'm playing Dance Dance Revolution in a state of absolute panic. I had completed the Hall of Novice lectures before, but that didn't stop me from panicking. Luckily, my teammates did not get angry with me for not understanding how to deal with the mechanics, and actually helped me out, which was nice of them. Gaius the Black Wolf retreats with his tail between his legs into the Ultima weapon, and another long boss fight ensues. Am I gonna have to do this alone? What was the plan here? How do I destroy it? Like, what was the thinking there? Gaius loses again, which causes the weapon to blow up the area, and I'm almost obliterated in the process. La Habrea shows up and trash talks Gaius, and also reveals that their plans weren't actually quite the same. In fact, the Asian wanted the Ultima weapon to basically nuke the place in the name of their god. Gaius gets mad, but can't really do much at this point, so La Habrea takes over and challenges me to see who will prevail, the ones who walks in Zodiarc's darkness, or the one blessed by Hydaelyn's light. Because it's a solo boss, just like with the lieutenant, it was kinda tough for me, and canonically, I lose. Luckily for me, Hydaelyn decides to pitch in and douse me in some blessings, and gives me access to a blade made of pure light, with which to smite La Habrea. I purify him so hard that I manage to force him out of Thancred's body, and the two of us escape Indiana Jones style as the Praetorium blows up behind us. Our afterwork party is cut short when I'm struck with a vision from Hydaelyn, and a loud rumbling is heard in the distance. Apparently Titan has been summoned again, and is a stronger incarnation than what he was even when the company of heroes fought him. I go to take care of Titan, but it turns out that all of the primals we've faced so far are being summoned once more. But this time, they have been relegated to side quests rather than being part of the main questline. The Scions used to work in relative secret, but after the role they played in taking down the Empire, benefactors from all over want to support us. Minfilia is unsure as to whether to accept their support or not, since she understands that their offers come with the underlying notion of, we shall help you only if you help us, and she wants the Science to remain a neutral organization as much as possible. Alphino points out that the Waking Sands headquarters are the worst kept secret in all of Eorzea, and suggests that we move bases to Revenant's Toll to separate us from Ul'dah and thus showcase our apolitical intentions by moving to neutral grounds. Minfilia seems unsettled by this notion, however, and tells Alphino that Ul'dah is their home. As we leave her room, Alphino tells me that Minfilia is kind of projecting, because she was born on Ul'dan soil in Little Alamigo, and doesn't want to leave as she is still holding out hope that her long-lost adoptive mother will show up. He therefore suggests that we try to find Minfilia's mom, so that she may leave Ul'dah behind her. So, we chase down some leads to do just that, and we find her with surprisingly little trouble. Her name is Philomin, and she's a cat lady with sass. She was also apparently hunted by the Empire, and that's why she didn't want to associate with Minfilia until now, since she would risk putting her in danger. We're treated to a heartfelt reunion, and then we're able to pack our things and head for Revenant's Toll. Well, actually, I head there, and then immediately get called back due to a new primal threat. This time, a beastman race called Moogles have somehow managed to summon their former king in the form of a primal with an Ascian ritual. Imagining an Ascian conversing with these fluffy meme creatures is very funny to me, and the Moogles do feel like an aggressive cameo, but at least I got a funny axe that makes Moogle noises when I swing it, so there's that. I take care of some primal-related business in Gridania and Ul'dah before returning to the Waking Sands, only for a white-robed Ascian named Elidibus to show up and spout some vague rhetoric and dunk on Minfilia. He's actually not there to start trouble, but rather to let it be known that he is an emissary also gifted with Echo, and that we must not, quote-unquote, waste our gifts. Whatever that means. Afterwards, we decide to go in groups to be safer while traveling to Revenant's Toll. We arrive and upgrade our Waking Sands to the Rising Stones. But we're greeted with bad news when Orion J tells us that the students of Balesian and Charlian have not responded to our calls in a long time. For now, Minfilia wants me to investigate reports of crystal thefts, as she's concerned that it's connected to another primal summoning. The trail doesn't lead us anywhere, but at least we're graced with adventures of Y'shtola the Miner. Upon return, an unknown fleet of ships have arrived in Vesper Bay, led by people hailing from the land of Doma. They turn out to be refugees, seeking shelter from the Garleans after they razed Doma to the ground to make an example out of their uprising. Alphino decides to help the Domans, and their leader, Lady Yugiri, gets an audience with the Ul'dan Council. The profit-hungry monetarists of the council proclaim that they have already sunk enough money into mitigating the refugee crisis already unfolding inside the state. The Domans will therefore not be allowed to seek shelter inside Ul'dah. Another councilman, Teleji Adeleji, expresses sympathy for the Domans, bemoaning the council decision, but says that he will personally see to providing for them should they need anything. The Domans decide to leave for Revenant's Toll, to make a name for themselves as capable adventurers and laborers. Meanwhile, I keep seeing friendly faces in-game, and I must say that it's very fun and makes playing less of a solo slog. One of my new acquaintances suggests we visit the Golden Saucer, as I've never been. The best way I can describe the Golden Saucer is like a fair, if fairs had gambling and was owned by a furry. Needless to say, I had a good time. I also ended up at a bathhouse. That was weird, but you know, just doing my research on this game. Nothing more to it. Anyway, we're about to leave for Mordona, and I'm tasked with escorting the Domans there safely. Upon arrival, we're immediately thrown into chaos again, as the Sahagin beastmen of Lanosia are about to summon their primal known as Leviathan. Upon infiltrating the Sahagin, we witness the beastmen summoners using what seems like the Echo, and the Echo switching host upon the death of the beastmen, something that Minfilia finds highly alarming. Before we can find out more, the Echo user is absorbed into Leviathan and disappears. Leviathan is a surprisingly easy fight for its build-up, and afterwards Y'shtola and Admiral Merlwyb discuss the possibility of Limsa living in harmony with the Sagin. A notion Merlwy finds ideal, but not plausible. Also, Yugiri is eavesdropping on this conversation for whatever reason. When I return to the Rising Stones, Minfilia has some musings about the Echo to share with me, regarding what she saw at the Sahagin summoning site. Considering it must have been the Asians' doing, Minfilia wonders if the Asians used the Echo to appear immortal by possessing people and moving from host to host. She draws the conclusion that it might be possible to get rid of an Asian for good if we were able to trap the Asian's soul, just like the Beastman Echo user were absorbed into Leviathan. Then we would need something to destroy the soul with, like the Blade of Light that was granted by Hydaelyn to slay Leabrea. While we're talking, Uriah and Jerry lets us know that the entire Isle of Baldessian has apparently been erased from existence. Somehow. Which causes Minfilia a lot of despair. Anyway, for now we're treated to a cutscene wherein Teleji Adeleji seems to act overtly suspiciously. After that, we received news that a refugee riot has broken out in Ul'dah and that Alphinaud has been injured because of it. I head on over to find Santa's little helper unscathed, and he gives me a primer on Ul'dah's state of affairs and the wealth disparity that plagues the state. He also tells me that the refugees were armed with suspiciously expensive gear, which means that someone must have set them up. I wonder who they want us to suspect. My riot investigations lead me to a merchant who is promptly offed right in front of me, which was very rude. It turns out, Teleji Adeleji, the seemingly benevolent councilman, is behind the riots because he wants to push an agenda that will let him seize hold of the Allagan ruins located on the Cardinal Plains. He believes that the Allagan weapon Omega, which felled the primal Bahamut, resides within the ruins. After seeing what the Ultima weapon could do, I guess he decided that he wanted some of that mass destruction potential for himself. Following that, I'm called to another emergency primal summoning, this time due to the unrest in Ul'dah causing an influx of refugees fleeing to the Black Shroud, worrying the Sylphs and prompting Raumu's appearance. The elder Seedseer Khan Senna pleads with me to parley with the Sylphs to get rid of Raumu and retain the peace we acquired earlier. I head into the beautiful heart of the Black Shroud to face Raumu, and he tells me that he'll voluntarily disappear if I can show him that I'm worthy of taking on the darkness and chaos of mankind. Which, seems like a big task. Being the warrior of light, I think I'm up to it, and winning the fight seems to make Raumu agree. Upon my return to the Rising Stones, I'm treated to a lecture on how to defeat Asians, and they conclude that we definitely need that 1-2 punch in terms of a prison and blade to make sashimi out of our foes. After, there's a cutscene of an Asian meeting, wherein we can see that Leabrea is still alive, and at odds with what many of the other Asians want. What do the Asians want? What exactly is Leabrea after? It is not entirely clear. Anyway, Alphinaud tells me that he wants to start a realm-wide organization with a similar structure to the Grand Companies. The main difference is that this group will not be beholden to any one nation, but only exists to serve all of Eorzea. Because I have nothing better to do, I go around helping him recruit people. But the Sultana in Ul'dah worries that this kind of organization may be easily manipulated behind the scenes to benefit those responsible if left unsupervised. Not even Shadow the Hedgehog could stand this heavy foreshadowing. Our recruitment efforts are put to a stop when we learn that the Dravanian heretics have been spotted in Mordona, and am sent as an emissary to Curthis. Once there, Archfront sends me in the direction of the heretics, but not much comes of it. All except for a mysterious lady appearing in a cutscene of an Asian having infiltrated some fancy-looking place in Ishgard, so I guess that is something. Back at the Rising Stones, Alphinaud's new trial company is appointed and named the Crystal Braves, and for whatever reason he didn't think to recruit a single doman, but whatever. The inauguration is cut short when I'm sent to Ul'dah, only to receive word that there is a traitor within the state's grand company, the Immortal Flames, selling out intel to both the Garleans and the Monetarists. I'm then treated to a bit of backstory between Ra-Ban, the leader of the Immortal Flames, and Ilberd, Ra-Ban's longtime friend and the new captain of the Crystal Braves. There is also a suspicion that the Monetarists have been in cahoots with the Garlean Empire this whole time, which is, extremely bad. When I return to the Rising Stones, chaos has unleashed like usual. This time, some members of the Crystal Braves have been taken captive by the Garleans, and they need me to go look for them. It's not too difficult, and after soothing Alphinaud's worries, he demands that I accompany him to meet one of the leaders of Ishgard, Sir Imric of the Temple Knights. Imric tells us that he suspects a heretic named Lady Iceheart is planning to summon the primal Shiva using stolen crystals. So, we do what we do best and tail a heretic suspect to find the tunnel that leads to Iceheart's domain. And I may have died in the dungeon. After defeating the boss, Iceheart speaks to me more than with me and says that we're all blind fools for not knowing the truth, and that she is acting in the name of the greater good. She teleports away before I can apprehend her, and I can't seem to follow her. Alphinaud is still happy with my report, because he thinks that helping stop the Gervanians will reflect well on his crystal babies. Some of the crystal braves are currently tailing some heretics escaping from the scene, and I join them. Together, we find a parchment detailing an escape and rendezvous point, and I go there to apprehend the fugitives, and they are interrogated. And the interrogation still just kinda points toward the immortal flames, so we don't learn much. Immediately following this, I accompany Alphinaud to an emergency meeting with the Alliance leaders. It turns out that the Garlean War of Succession has ended, and Varys Susibaka Galvez has been crowned as a new emperor. Under his leadership, it is feared that Garlemald will soon continue conquering Eorzea. To stand against their might, it is suggested that we try to reforge alliances with Ishgard. But before we can hatch any plans on that, I'm sent to Ilberd, who seems to have located a prime suspect. None other than the second in command of the Immortal Flames. Look at me now. Look at those abs! Look at that. We hunt her down and catch her red-handed as she convenes with her Garlean contact. She denies accusations, but comes with us without fighting back. I report back to the Rising Stones, where Minfilia tells us that they have made progress on finding a way inside Iceheart's sanctum. Still in need of aid, Minfilia and I welcome a former student of Loisois named Monbrida, and she's here to help us both get into the sanctum and create a way to deal with the Asians.
And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Her face! Whoa! Ah!
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
Unhand me, wench! Ah! Damn! We find a way to channel a bunch of ether into the aetherite, to amplify it and enable me to use it to go after Iceheart. The two of us throw down, Iceheart herself transforming into Shiva, which means it's a primal summoning unlike anything we've seen thus far. I return victorious, and good guy Arshvan tells me that he was worried for my safety when he heard what I was up to. He has a hard time believing what I saw, that a human could turn into a primal. Regardless, Alphinaud and Imric have a meeting where Alphinaud tries to convince Ishgard to rejoin the alliance. Imric says that he's not personally against such a deal, but says that the Holy See of Ishgard will be difficult to convince, and that he personally does not hold enough political influence to do so. Alphinaud gets kinda mad, but eventually regains his composure. He says that Garlemald must not learn of this new way of summoning primals, as the Empire might hasten their attack. I return to the Rising Stones to share my findings with my fellow Scions, and they are at a loss when they hear of Lady Iceheart being able to transform into Shiva. Because they have never even heard of such a possibility, they struggle coming to grips with it, even counting as a primal summoning, and how the Gervanians are playing a part in it. After the meeting, we learn that the traitor has fled, because of course she has. We chase her down, and she turned out to be a triple agent, also selling out info to the heretics, because why half-ass being traitorous scum? Teleji is once again shown acting suspiciously, planning to do something to the Sultana. I'm then shown a cutscene of the leaders meeting in the Sultana's chambers. Oh,
Nay, you jest.
they're gonna become a democracy. After that, I go take care of the rest of the old primal fight stuff, and then go assist Alphanode and the Crystal Braves. Apparently, I'm needed to go snuff out the black market of weapons sold to disgruntled refugees while their immortal flames reform themselves. But when I arrive on the scene, the suspect is dead, and Ilbert suspiciously claims that a recruit offed the suspect on accident. Afterwards, a brave named Ryle wants to know what happened, because he's suspecting that something fishy is going on within the Crystal Braves. Back at the Rising Stones, Eimric's right-hand lady came to tell us that some type of dragon-related star is burning extra brightly, and that means that the fearsome dragon Midgarsummer is awakening. The thing is that Midgarsummer is a giant dragon whose husk is entangled with a Garlean warship that crashed into a lake, and it's been dormant for a long time. But they nevertheless send me over to the lake to check things out, and of course the wreckage is crawling with Garleans and monsters. The lady says that no matter what we find, Ishgard will be able to defend themselves against the Duranians. The dungeon is pretty cool. This can't be good. Is this dragon carrying a gun? Yeah. Oh, I died. Dude. Please don't wake up. The Skyrim people will be very mad. I don't want to fear you. I want to be bros, alright?
I shall not harm thee.
Hello? You shall not harm me. She shot a laser straight through my... straight through my heart. Hello? Did he just destroy everything I worked so hard for?
I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
And why did you do that, huh? That's just mean, my dude. I need that, alright? Hello? You took away my blessing and gave me a dragon, is that it?
Life.
Wait, did you just... You drink of our body? Dude, did you just take the blessing and eat it? You may summon Midgarsummer by selecting the corresponding entry with your minion guide. So he's watching me? Following me? Is there something you are not telling us, June? You seem different somehow. Tis almost as if you're missing something. Something important! I am! 12 for Fend, Midgarsummer stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? I feel like my chosen hero trope has left me in the dust and I'm just an NPC now. He did pierce me in the chest with the laser though. You're just gonna leave me? Am I not important to you anymore now that I've lost my blessing? So you're saying that I can't accomplish Jack without the blessing? Is that what you're implying here? When I get back, we'll discuss how to gather enough ether to craft the Ascian Smiting Blade. But, as things usually go, we immediately get distracted by Garleans doing their thing and attacking a processing plant in Thanalan. We go over there, kill some Garleans and do some ether tests, only to come to realize that Minfilia is in danger. Again.
What's this? I do not sense the blessing of light.
That's just...
dear.
I'm having a bit of a cold.
Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion?
No.
Nobrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff.
Really?
Minfilia's in danger.
Not
we have to get back to
again.
the Rising Stones.
Minfilia! Can you stay out of the Asian's grasp for just a few moments, please? I mean, Philia, seriously. We don't have time for you to get kidnapped, alright? I need to finish the patch quest. I don't even know what to expect.
You will not harm her!
Are they like Jedis or something? That doesn't look good.
It can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings.
Oh, that sounds useful for our cause. Thank you
How
for
else
telling
do you
us.
think Louis? Very well. If you will not part with the
No!
I will
No,
take you
no, no! The princess stays in this castle, alright? Am I just gonna stand there? Hello? Or goodbye. Minfilia! Why do you keep doing this? You should have just given it to him. I'm sure the consequences wouldn't be too grave.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
What? You're joking. Am I gonna leave you dying here? Can I not at least like... It's a dungeon? Ooh. Okay. I didn't realize that you could enter these rifts. Why didn't we do that before? Adriel... Hello? Hello? Excuse me, sir. Not only do you speak like an incel, you seem to actually be one as well. Is that a Triforce on your face? I will not accept you being a Zelda fan. I don't really get this. Are we just supposed to run around? Did someone die? Ah! Ah! What is happening? Night. Night. Ah! Activate all of the abilities. Why are so many dead? What happened? Why am I still alive? Night! Ah! No! Why did I take so much damage? I couldn't do anything. I just died. I should have pressed home gang, dude. Tanks in towers? What does that mean? What are we supposed to do? Ah! What is this? Why is everyone dying? I don't get it. Oh, I see. You're supposed to destroy them before they reach him. Oh, hello, Minfilia. How are you doing there on the ground? Should we leave? Oh, we're all alive.
Thank the 12.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
Are we ready though? How are we gonna kill it though?
What trickery?
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly,
Oh yeah,
before it
right.
breaks free.
Right. He just told us how to beat him with the tablet. What are you gonna do?
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
This you made.
What? Oh, you're talking about.
There is life.
Excuse me.
Farewell, Urianger.
Hello?
Mustn't.
We are adding to the death count of the Charlians.
Is a leg
After Moonbrida gave her life to kill the Asian, the Signs are in mourning. I personally don't get much time for reflection, as the Ishgardians come pleading with us for reinforcements, clearly being unable to defend themselves. Iceheart is somehow able to undo the magical wards protecting the city of Ishgard, but we have an Istinian. Istinian is a dragoon warrior who has an eye of a dragon called Nidhogg, which I imagine will become important later. Because people most likely don't want the Empire to swoop in and take over Kurthus, Tataru and I go around Revenant's Toll and try to recruit people willing to fight the Dravanians. We manage to snag a few people, but most aren't convinced. I don't really have time, but Ryle takes me aside to talk about a missing Crystal Brave, who had been onto the suspicious activities within the organization. But for now, Alphinaud pleads with Alliance leaders to lend Ishgard their strength. Unfortunately, the Alliance isn't too keen on sending forces to fight a battle for a nation that had previously given up on them. But luckily, they do send some, in an Alliance rekindling attempt. And of course, the Crystal Braves and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will come to their aid. What follows is a unique and pretty cool boss fight, wherein we need to protect Ishgard's bridges, as they contain the remaining wards protecting the city. Holy moly! I don't know if this is going so well. Oh, we need to protect those things. Is that a giant turtle? That looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. How are you supposed to beat that? Run! Run, 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 run. Ah!
Ether, to me.
Who? This is a huge target. Ow. Ow! Whoops. Maybe I shouldn't have stood in that. Ow! God! Defeat Wisha before the knights lose their resolve. I'm trying! This seems really mean. After a long and exciting battle, we barely snatch the win, and the Dravanians are forced to retreat. And I head back to the Rising Stones to celebrate. Alphinaud, I did not see you participate in this battle. Menfilia tells me the Scions have been invited to a banquet in Ul'dah to celebrate Ishgard's victory, and Menfilia questions the right to celebrate when the Alliance barely participated. But she reckons that it might be a good way to get all the nations talking again. Before that, I accompany Tataru on a sudden trading arc, because she wants to become more useful. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. I feel like Menfilia does need a bodyguard. Seriously. She's been kidnapped twice. By various Dark Lords. She quickly gives up on it since she doesn't believe she has any talent for combat. But she ends up harvesting some clams, whose pearls will make good luck charms for all the Scions. Did her pet just abandon her? Poor Tataru, man. She just wants to be the fiercest bodyguard this side of Eorzea ever known. Stand guard as Tataru harvests pearls. Excuse me, sir. This area is off limits to the likes of you, alright? Our adorable clerk is doing her adorable duties. Thank you, thank you. Afterwards, I'm tasked with a much more boring escort mission, wherein I need to accompany a scholar. The Warrior of Light is standing guard. Dude, this is so boring. It's like, first we have this giant war. And then we're faced with the reality that we're still nothing but a filthy, filthy errand runner. But it just so happens to lead us to discovering the body of the missing Crystal Brave soldier. But before I can learn anything more, the story demands that I go complete a series of quests at the Crystal Tower in Mordona. A team of adventuring archaeologists have set up a camp a stone's throw from Revenant's Toll, and their leader Rambros tells me that the tower appeared during the calamity and holds ancient elegant secrets we'd rather not let the Empire have. Trouble is that the tower is locked up good, and it takes me tons of tedious fetch quests to find the ether sand needed to disengage the wards protecting the tower's entrance. I also meet with a researcher named Garaha, who wants to join us due to his bloodline having infused him with an Allagan eye he believes to be connected to the tower. Oh. I wonder why they had to be in the shape of a fang, though. Specifically. This last one is yours, old friend. It seemed only right. Ooh! My character gets to do something? That looked a little awkward. It like went through the glove, but... And so, it was time for my very first raid in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. A 24-man raid is made up of 3 full parties with 8 people in each, and depending on the letter you're assigned, you're supposed to engage with a designated set of enemies. As you may be able to imagine from my track record thus far, it was a chaotic experience. Oh, this is so cool! I'm leading the charge, totally in everyone's cutscene and not just mine. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, man. Middle, right? What's going on over here? How do I know it's the middle? Why am I behind? I'll take this one, guys. Don't even worry about it. Am I stuck? I'm stuck. Hello? Hello? What do I do? Hello? Oh. That's embarrassing. I'm so confused right now. I can't even take in the atmosphere, I'm distressed. Okay. This makes a little more sense. Ah! I'm gonna die! 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 What the fuck? What the heck? Ah! How did I survive that? Oh, I think I pressed the home gun correctly. Not even close. Which one are we supposed to take? I don't know. Oh. I'm dead. I probably won't be able to participate, right? Or will I? Oh, we're supposed to go there? Ah, well, that could have gone better. Before we leave, 2 people in Earth Nation looking garb, who seem like they have never blinked in their lives, proclaim themselves to be students of Baldesion that have been sent to aid the Crystal Tower operations. We decide to believe them and let them come with. Nero, the disgraced Garlean commander, kind of just turns up and decides to hang around like an introvert awkwardly milling about in the background of a party. And we just kinda accepted. The so-called students of Baldesion reveal that they lied and are actually Allagan clones sent to stop an ancient emperor's revival. That sure took a turn. Turns out, the emperor in question has been slumbering inside the tower ever since he entered a forbidden covenant with the Voidsent, and the Allagan clones were created to stop him from reassuming his rule. And to stop that from happening, I take on my second raid. It doesn't fare much better than my first. Here we go. Here we go. Second raid. Hopefully I don't die this time. Oh shit, you have to... Nah. Oh shit. I defeat the Emperor boss, but it's not enough. As the clones try to annul the Covenant, an entity with the original name of Cloud of Darkness shows up, rips a rift in reality, and pulls the clones and Nero into it. And so, I am sent on my third and final raid for the questline. I'm so confused! We save the clones and Nero, who has started to look about as washed up as he is. Graha is attacked, but mysteriously unharmed, and the clones tell him that royal elegant blood flows through his veins. That means he's not only immune to the Covenant, but has the power to control the tower. The clones then sacrifice themselves to keep the Cloud of Darkness at bay, and make sure the rift doesn't open again. After, Graha decides that he will seal the gates of the tower, and himself with it, to prevent its powers from falling into the wrong hands. He tells me that the survivors of the Fourth Umbral Calamity wanted the tower to become a beacon of hope in the future, and that the tower shall slumber until the future is already bright enough not to have to rely on the tower. Or something like that. It was honestly kind of an unclear conclusion. But that's a wrap. Now, being able to return to the main questline, things are not looking up. Minfilia really does not want to go to dinner. Come on, it'll be fun. You know, we'll drink and laugh, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure nothing bad will happen. And you need to mind yourself when you're in Ul'dah, eh? We're heading to a storm, I can smell it. The foreshadowing in this game, man. I feel like, is this called lampshading? Foreshadowing? I don't know, it just feels like there's heavy-handed writing on the wall, you know? Some of the Crystal Braves are revealed to be paid off by Teleji, and I go search for one of the Braves who might know more, but only find a clouded vial and a suspicious dude. Sure we are, buddy.
Disputes are all that divide us.
You seem so confident.
And concerned. Speaking of whom?
Your trusty warrior of light. Excuse me, I belong to no one. Upon proceeding to the Sultan's bedchamber, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. That sounds interesting.
Stand together or fall divided.
What do you mean, your most generous aid? Wasn't the point that they did nothing, barely? Like they couldn't send that many troops?
After the fact.
Exactly. Alfina looks disgusted. She's like, I don't trust that guy. Oh, it's this snake. Then, the Sultana suddenly seeks a private audience with me. She tells me that she is going to announce the abdication of the throne and wants my personal support to deal with the aftermath. But that will never happen, as she takes a sip of her wine and keels over, seemingly dead. Why are they zooming in? Yeah, alright. Alright. And we have the vial on us, don't we? Why did we keep that on our person? Oh, ooh, oh no. Hello? The rusted knight drank the poison in her stead. Not really. Sure, you're surprised by this.
You did this!
Alright. Why you blame me, huh?
Spare us your denials as this viper.
Excuse me, but I think she would have seen pretty clearly if I dropped anything into her wine. No!
Sir, rising stones is also under our control.
No, this was supposed to be a party, guys. Aldanians just can't be trusted, it seems like. Is Thancred out here picking up cat girls when we have an emergency on our hands?
Whatever is going on in there?
Yeah. She's like, I don't like bad boys that much.
The ever beautiful brass blades.
That it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant.
What? They're like, what?
You're defending the nation, is it? You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
What?
No! No, this cannot be!
Be tried for this atrocity.
And Minophilia really did not want to go. I feel bad for her. She's like, I didn't even want to come here in the first place. Slay you. What? Don't throw me on the ground like that.
For questioning.
So Ilbert is also in on this.
This is
doo-doo.
Used to poison her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
That is sure is convenient. Ah, there is Laurentius.
How very convenient.
Exactly.
Convenience.
Why would we poison her while every guard is clearly around in the royal chambers?
Dare you? After all we have done for Uldar.
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled.
You ain't call me Philly a witch, alright?
Gift that you and your disciples wield.
Dark gift.
Oh yes, I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders.
Excuse me? Yes, it's called a midriff. Have you heard of it?
For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend.
I haven't even seen them interact. Not even like in this feast.
I'll tell you what I think.
During like the banquet.
This desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces.
What?
And allies into invading our lands.
Why would they do that? They seem to have their hands full with the dragons.
Now, that is truly ridiculous.
How do you even think of this stuff?
Yeah, seriously.
She cannot be dead.
Hello?
Stand aside, Ilbert. I want to see.
I saw her with my own eyes.
Sure.
For a mercy, a handmaiden can
She's in on it.
No!
That was a genuine reaction, at least. Can someone kick this potato in his head already?
I mean, you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
Exactly.
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief.
Yeah, let's admit to it.
She always was a most unwilling. Cut her strings.
Dude, you're speaking so out of turn in front of all of these people.
You would mock her, then mock her from hell!
Oh! Oh. That's not good. Well, at least he's dead. He cut him in half. Oh, he's slaying a lot of them today. His arm! That was Swift. Taylor Swift. This party sucked. I'm never going to one of these again. I think last time I passed out.
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Yeah, because he thought you were a friend. The Crystal Braves, man. What a load of horseradish.
You are not the man you once were, Raban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile.
Oh, dude. Way to kick a man while he's down.
Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana?
It's the guy over there that's in 2 pieces.
It was me.
Oh! How creepy! So creepy.
You die!
He just admitted to it. This is one heck of a battle. Those are some sharp swords. Did he cut me loose? Oh, thank goodness.
I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
Alright. I'm starting to regret that I didn't choose the Immortal Flames. Because this guy's badass. So, how'd you like the party, guys? I don't think this is my crowd.
There you are.
He's been hitting on ladies.
Of some very persistent admirers.
Sure, you've been avoiding it. Time to go. Oh. How dramatic.
We will hold our pursuers here.
She's like, this is the worst day ever. I'm gonna lose my friends, and I didn't even want to go in the first place.
Now look what you've done.
This is basically a movie at this point. Why did we recruit so many Crystal Braves? Please be alright. Do something epic. Ooh. Hello. Oh. Okay.
What do you mean to do?
What do you think?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
How poetic.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
My friends.
Aww. You're gonna fight in the dark? Sometimes I do feel like Minfilia is the main character. And I don't mind.
Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me.
Let's go, Thancred. No! Y'shtola! Do something!
This is going splendidly.
Oh my gosh.
Forgive me, Mitra.
Who's Mitra?
Farewell, Minfilia.
What? You have to be joking. Huh?
Heidelin. She speaks to me.
Oh, right now?
No.
What?
I must
Don't-
remain behind.
Don't
But you
say
cannot
that!
stay with me.
Why? Are you gonna have a private chat with Mom?
Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light.
You can't
are hope
fight!
For the Scions and for all the
You've
realms.
never drawn that sword. I've never seen it.
As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit.
Why do you have to stay, though?
You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness.
Minfilia.
'Tis the only way.
But what are you gonna do? It's very unclear. Ah, my character looks distraught. What the heck was that? She speaks to me, I must go. You're joking, right? We don't even have Alfino. Oh! I might have spoken too soon. Whatever are you wearing? Can we fly? I'm guessing no.
I've made such a mess of things.
You can say that again. The crystal brace were your idea.
But in the end...
it
was I who needed saving.
It didn't even matter. Alfino loves it up here in Perthus.
Shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The falling snows or some such.
The falling snows, that's cute and really inappropriate at the same time.
Frivolity aside.
Oh. She's cute. Not that it matters. Pretty, isn't she? Aww. This guy is kind of adorable.
Besides, where are we to go?
To war! Just kidding.
Step at a time.
But I won't be taking orders from you, alright? Just because Minfilia isn't here doesn't mean that I'm gonna listen to you. That's it? That's the end? That's... I mean, I guess I should have expected it, but... Alfino and I are happy to see that Tataru and Yugiri made it safely out of the Rising Stones, which is now a viper's nest of crystal braves. Alfino is feeling quite depressed with the state of affairs and blames himself for being arrogant enough not to see the holes in his schemes and the traitors in his midst. The Sultana is proclaimed dead, Rauban is imprisoned, and the fate of the Scions are unknown, other than Urianger, who managed to cast a glamour over the waking sands. Eorzea seems to be in turmoil when it needs unity most. But good guy Archifant points out that we still have comrades in Ishgard. And fortunately, Teleji was apparently speaking the truth when he told Imeric that Ishgard had been attacked by dragons, and no progress will be made on our asylum until the Duranians are dealt with. In the meantime, Archifant will do his personal best to see that we're safe inside his walls. However, we decide to make the trek to Ishgard to find new allies and get its leaders on our side. The story closes out with two cutscenes. One, where the Sultana's lady-in-waiting answers to her real lord, Lolorito, who cracks a menacing grin. And another cutscene where Elidibus and Lahabrea discusses our ability to permanently off the Ascian who kidnapped Minfilia, and speak vaguely of scheming in the Northern Lands, which probably means Kurthus. In a final scene, we see Urianger being visited by Elidibus, but it ends before we get to see what their conversation were to be about. Oh, and our tiny dragon companion Midgarsummer keeps being a Debbie Downer by telling me that Ishgard will not provide the sanctuary I seek, but only despair.
Despair. Death.
I get it. I don't need your commentary, alright? To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavensward! It's weird. We did it! We did it! Alphino, we did it! I mean, I enjoy the story, it's just... I never thought the patch quest would end. Not that I wanted them to end exactly, it's just... People have been speaking so highly of Heavensward, so I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen in that story. So, yeah. So, did I have fun with FF14? Heck yeah, I did! Was the story any good? And will I be playing Heavensward? Only if you subscribe, because the 12 knows I need the moral support. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you around.